you know it's hot outside when your dog doesn't even want to hang out with you outside. But today I am going to be sharing with you all some tips and tricks and also pros and cons of using grow bags. I just wanted to address something really quick. I had a few people comment on my last video that they couldn't hear me very well, so I apologize. I'm a total rookie at this, and I don't have any special equipment, so I'm wearing my AirPod microphone today, so I hope that it's a little bit better. So I hope you all can hear me a little bit better. And I also turned off my air conditioner because it's super loud and it runs all the time. So around me I've got some grow bags. Since we're talking about grow bags, I've got some beautiful mint in a grow bag. Back there, I don't know if you can see it, my avocado tree is in a grow bag, and then I have this okra in a grow bag which is about to flower. It's got the little flower buds, so I might be getting my first okra ever. I've never grown okra before, so I have it in a grow bag. I have it in a bed on legs, and I have it in my in-ground bed. And my grow bag, I think it's looking great. It's the first one to flower. I planted them all the same day. So I want to come and explain a little bit about why I started using grow bags for gardening, and give some quick pros and cons, because there are both. They're not a perfect growing medium. They do have some cons, so I will try to be as unbiased as possible and also give you a little bit tips and tricks of growing in grow bags, because I've had successes and I've had fails, and hopefully my fails can help you do better. So I'm just gonna say why I started growing in grow bags. I've only had a yard garden since October of last year of 2021. Before that I lived in an apartment, and I decided I wanted to start growing food in March 2020 when you know what started and everything shut down. So I actually had some random pots from other houseplants that I used to grow in, and then I ended up buying a pack of grow bags on Amazon. I try not to buy things on Amazon, but you know, crazy times. So I bought a pack of grow bags on Amazon, and I still use those, but they're pretty much on their last leg. So that's what I started growing in when I started gardening in 2020, and I had pretty good luck for the first, I don't know if I'd say luck, but pretty successful things in the grow bags. And now I have a lot of grow bags, so I do personally like them, but I will be honest, there are some cons. So let me go over the pros first, and I have my notes so I don't forget anything. The first pro is that they are typically pretty affordable, so in comparison to other growing vessels. So I understand that affordability looks different to everyone, but when we're talking about terracotta versus plastic versus grow bags versus a nice ceramic, grow bags are typically pretty affordable. Even the nicer higher end ones like this one, which is a brand that I will mention later, the 10-gallon size, I think it's about $8, which yeah, it's not free, but it's cheaper than, I would say, probably a terracotta pot in my experience. You can definitely get things for way cheaper. A lot of stuff that I grow in for completely free. Plastic pots that I found on the road or gotten from Buy Nothing groups or something like that, so you can get them for free. But yeah, so that's a pro. They are lightweight. That's probably my favorite thing. This okra, I just grabbed it by the handles and I brought it over here, so I have some more examples for you all, and it's super lightweight. Unlike, I have a pot over there that's a ceramic pot. There's no way I would move that just for a video. I did move it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, whew. So once pots and things have dirt in them, they can become very heavy, and grow bags weigh virtually nothing, so they're pretty easy to move around. We moved a lot of them when we moved to this house from our apartment. I have my blueberry trees in 25-gallon grow bags, and they were pretty easy to move, whereas in comparison I have some fruit trees in terracotta pots, and those are much heavier. So if you like to move things around, especially if you live in an apartment or condo where you have to kind of work with the light, then I think they can be really beneficial for that. The next thing I really like about them is that they are difficult to overwater. So if you're a person that loves to water your plants and sometimes you love them a little too much and you end up killing them from watering them too much, grow bags might be for you because especially things like plastic pots, I've noticed, they just kind of, the water just kind of sits in there. Terracotta is a lot better because it is porous and it will absorb some of the water. So I'm going to try not to get into like every medium, try to focus on grow bags, but I might make separate videos about different growing mediums. But yeah, like as compared to like plastic or something, grow bags, they don't technically, I mean, they don't like typically like get soggy because the water will just escape through the sides of the bag. Is that they're pretty easy to store up. So since they are fabric, you can just fold them up, and I folded a whole bunch of them up, folded them up in the winter, and I put them in like a storage bin in my shed, and then once I was ready to use them, I just popped them out. And another thing on that is that they're not breakable. I mean, they are breakable, but they're not like, they can't shatter, like as in a terracotta pot that if you're moving it, storing it, it might get knocked over and break. That wouldn't happen with a grow bag. Another thing is that plants don't get root bound in grow bags. And what I mean by root bound is when you have, like if you've ever bought a plant at the hardware store, let's say you buy a tomato plant and you get it home and you pull it out to take it and the roots are just like all around the pot and they just kind of are growing in a circle or square, whatever shape the pot is, that's what shape they grow. Grow bags, that's kind of the main benefit that people love them for, is because they are fabric. The roots grow out and then they kind of feel the air, and they call it air pruning. And so the roots, they don't do that where they kind of circle around the outside of the pot. I'm going to insert a clip here where I just took some tomatoes out of grow bags and I left the whole stem in. So I'm going to pull it out and just show you all what it looks like in comparison to like that typical root bound look. So the benefit of that is that the plant, the roots go all over instead of just sitting at the bottom of the pot. So that is one reason why people say grow bags are so great for growing it, and I have to agree. I have had really good success with grow bags and I haven't noticed them getting root bound. I also like that there are lots of different sizes, colors, shapes. You can get them like short and long, kind of like a raised bed, or you can get them obviously like more like a traditional pot. You can also get the super tall ones that are good for potatoes or sweet potatoes. So I like that there's a lot of variety, and they aren't just like that classic pot look. So I like that, and then I also like that when you look at them, the sizing is pretty easy to understand. It usually goes by gallons, so you can buy like 5 gallon, 7, 10, 20, 100. They sell like 100-gallon grow bags, so they get really big. I like that that's pretty easy to understand. I know that plants like tomatoes and things prefer a little bit bigger, like a 10-gallon size, but you know, herbs and things you could do in like a smaller 5-gallon one. That's all the pros that I have. Let me get into the cons because I want to be unbiased and I want to explain why there are a few things about grow bags that I don't love. So one main thing I don't love is that grow bags can very much vary in quality and material depending on where you buy them from or where you source them from. So what I mean by that is some grow bags are made out of like a felt-like material, some are made out of cotton-like material or cotton material, and others are made out of plastic. So when you are looking at some of those benefits, like you can't overwater it and the air pruning, I think if you buy a plastic one, you're kind of losing those benefits because the plastic is gonna work totally differently than the felt or cotton material. So, and what I mean by plastic, I don't mean polyester necessarily. I mean like a kind of like a trash bag, like a thick trash bag type plastic, not like a fabric plastic. So I know they sell them, I've seen them at like Walmart and stuff, and it says grow bag and then you look at it and it's made out of like plastic. So I would just be very cautious when you are purchasing grow bags to look at what they're actually made out of and the type of material. So you want to make sure it's something that is breathable and not like a solid plastic, okay? So that would be my con that I don't like, and I also don't really like when things are made out of plastic. Personally, I try not to buy things that are made out of new plastic. I do really like this company, Root Pouch, because they do use plastic. I think it's like a material plastic. Now I can't even, I just said it, you know, polyester. It's like polyester type material, but it's made out of recycled plastic. So I will have that company linked in the description of this video, because I like those grow bags and I like that they use recycled plastic. So so if that's something that is important to you, just make sure you are mindful of that when you are buying grow bags. And then another one that is probably my main dislike, and I think it's mainly because of the climate that I live in. I live in Central Texas, Zone 8B, and it's very hot, very dry, very humid. Okay, wait, I said dry and humid. It can be humid, but this year it's been very dry. So I guess I should say it's very hot, and grow bags dry out significantly quicker than other growing mediums. So if you have a plant that likes to be watered a lot, I'll give my example of my onions that I grew. I grew half my onions in a raised bed, and I grew half of my onions in grow bags, and I had a really hard time, even though it was pretty cold, I had a hard time keeping the onions watered enough that were in the grow bags. So those onions ended up being significantly smaller. It's not my air conditioner, it's my neighbor's. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep going because it's hot and I want to finish this. So I'm almost done, I promise. So they dry out a lot faster. So if you have a thing that you're growing that likes to be constantly moist or hates to get dried out, I wouldn't suggest putting it in a grow bag. So I will probably never grow onions in a grow bag again. I probably wouldn't grow garlic. Things that are shallow rooted, I would probably avoid growing in grow bags, just for that reason. If you live somewhere really rainy, then it's probably not a problem for you, and it doesn't matter. But yeah. And then the other thing I don't like about grow bags is that they're kind of advertised as, oh, easy to wash. You can just throw it in your washing machine and there you go, it's ready for the next season or the next plant. But I don't necessarily find that true. The roots do kind of get into the sides of the grow bag, and it makes it really hard to get all those roots out and clean it, and then there's also dirt stuck in there, and I personally wouldn't throw them in my washing machine. Mostly what I do is I hose them off, and that's been fine since I've had a hose in the house. But if you live in an apartment, just keep that in mind. It might not be as easy as you think just to like throw it in your washing machine and wash it, because even if you do that, the roots might still be stuck, so you're kind of stuck picking out all these roots out of the grow bag. So the last thing I will say is that the cheaper Amazon grow bags that I purchased when I originally started gardening, so that was in 2020, so it's been 2 years, so I did get 2 years of use out of them, but they are pretty much probably done or on their last leg. Some of them have holes in them, and they've become really thin over time. So I guess I would say that they're not something that you could grow in for 10 years plus, like a well cared for terracotta pot or something like that. But of course those things break too. So I do think that a higher quality bag like these root pouches, or I've never tried smart pots actually, which are like the most popular one. I don't know why I've never tried them, probably because they're a little pricey, and I'm cheap, so. But anyways, the root pouches are, you can just tell they're much higher quality than the Amazon ones that I originally purchased. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to spend a little less now, they might not last you as long in the long run. So I guess that's all I have to say about pros and cons. The last thing I want to say is that overall I've loved grow bags. I think they are a great way to get started gardening because they are pretty, easy to get access to. They're lightweight. You don't have to worry about shipping these huge containers of pots, and they're not heavy. So I really enjoy them. I think I'm going to keep using them even though I have a garden space. I still use them. I have them all over my yard, and I really like them. I think they have been super productive for me. I've grown many things in them. Let's see, I can say a few things I've grown. I've got my blueberries in them. I've got my avocado in it. Obviously I have okra. I've done herbs, all kinds of herbs in them. Let's see, I got my little cherry tree in one. I've done tomatoes multiple years in them, and the tomatoes have been very successful in them. I will say one more little note is that the tomatoes in my grow bags I have pulled for the year, they were still producing, but they were having a hard time staying moist, and the leaves were starting to get just really crunchy, and I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna cut my losses and get rid of those and start again, and do a second crop of tomatoes. But that just goes with they dry out a little bit faster. So I treat grow bags just as I do any other growing medium, and I always mulch, and that will also help with the drying out. So that's all I have for you all. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the comments that I've gotten on my videos, and I love all the feedback, and I love all the chats I've had with people in the comments and learning what you're growing. So I would love to know if you like grow bags, if you use them, if you hate them, I want to know why. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and happy gardening. Bye.